I got my piano tuned. I wanted to make a video of what it used to sound like. Now, let's watch the before clip. I'm not sure if you guys know this or not. One of my favorite parts about making videos for you guys is I like doing restoration projects, or refurbishing, if you will. Remember that Dell Latitude C640? How it was in rough shape, the screen was busted, and the keyboard was totally trashed? That was the before clip. And then I did an after clip of the completed product. So, what I'm saying is, I like doing before and after shots. Before you had a crappy looking computer that wasn't usable, and then after, it looked like brand spanking new again. Well, given the fact that this piano is out of tune and isn't really usable, like, it is usable because all the parts work on it mechanically, but it's not playable because it's out of tune. And I do like out of tune pianos, but I don't like this one in particular. So I thought, well, since I'm getting it tuned on Tuesday, I would like to do a before when it's out of tune, and then after when it is in tune. So I'm going to basically start from here all the way down, then start from here all the way down. And then when it isn't tuned, I'll do the same thing again. Also, I would like to play a little song on here when it's out of tune, and then I'll play the same song again at the same tempo when it is in tune. Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning. Okay, so we're going to start from the black keys all the way to the end. Okay, so let's not forget the 4 keys on this piano that actually sound the same. Can't wait for these 4 keys to actually sound different. I'm tired of them for sounding the same. So next, I'm going to play a song when it's out of tune, and then on Tuesday, after it gets tuned, I'll play the same song when it's in tune. I am now going to play a song called Someone Said Goodbye. And I want to remind you guys that this piano is out of tune, so it might not sound pretty. But when it is in tune, you'll really hear the difference. So if I screw up just a little bit, sorry, I'm just getting used to it. And if my chair squeaks like this, or I just want to let you know, it's not me farting, it's just the chair. So, let's begin. Okay, so that was Someone Said Goodbye. And I'm pretty sure you can hear how out of tune it is. Like, it doesn't sound pretty at all, but it does have a lot of character to it. I don't think I'll miss the out of tune sounds. I really don't like it, and I'm going to be really honest. Once this piano gets tuned, this will be the very first time I've actually owned or played a piano that was actually in tune. Because every piano that I've played in my life has always been out of tune, or it just sounded fake, or just crappy. So, I can't wait to get this thing tuned. And hoping that it won't cost me a lot of money, because I'm only willing to pay $150. So that's about it. So anyway, I'm glad you guys watched the video. Hopefully it didn't bore you to death, but hey, some people like these videos. Now that you've watched the before clip where it was out of tune, let's watch the after clip after a good tuning. Okay everybody, the Sherlock Manning upright piano has now been tuned. And the piano tuner added on to the many years this thing has been maintained. From March 1995 all the way up to March 2012. How convenient is that? Only one thing went wrong. And it sounded like a gunshot. It wasn't an ordinary gunshot, though. If you notice, there's only 2 strings on one side and on the other. Yeah. The piano tuner snapped a string. Not only did he snap one, he snapped 2. That really put me down. What happened was, I said to him, okay, well, I'll leave you alone, let you get to work, and I'll just be upstairs. I went upstairs to lay on the couch, because he came an hour early. Like, way too early. He was supposed to come at 10 o'clock, but he came at 9. So, I got my ass out of bed, went upstairs, laid on the couch. My eyes were closed. And all I heard was bang, bang. I cracked my eyes open, thinking someone got shot. And I heard the piano tuner in my bedroom, and I heard, ah, shit. That's all I heard was the ah, shit. And I thought, that can't be good. So after when he was done tuning the piano, I come back downstairs, and he's like, by the way, 2 of your strings, and I said, don't say it. I'm assuming the sounds of gunfire, bang, bang, was the sound of 2 strings breaking. And he was like, how'd you know? And I was like, well, when a string snaps, it sounds like a gunfire. So, I said, it's very obvious, and it's loud too. You don't want to keep your hands in there. You'll get a serious whiplash. So he snapped 2 strings. I don't know where the other one went. I'm still looking for it, actually. I don't see it down there. So, it's either way in the bottom or it's missing. I'm assuming this one was the first string to break. The second one snapped afterwards, but... Or this could have been the second one and the first one's missing, I don't know. That's where it was coiled up on the tuning peg. So, yeah. Anyway. Oh, and the bottom piece is right there. This is where this would wrap around on the bottom. Actually, no. This piece would strap itself around here, and that little piece there would go in that little hole. And I'm assuming this piece here was attached to the bottom of the string that was at the very bottom of the piano. So anyway, enough talking about broken strings. I'm already pissed off enough. And he told me it's going to cost me $40 to replace each string. I thought, why should I have to pay for it? You broke it. But, oh well. All I paid was $150. Didn't go any more than that. So, I'm happy. I have $74 still in my wallet. So, that's all good. Here's the 3 pins that had to get pulled out of the piano because they're too small. Over time, the wood starts to crack around it, and eventually the pin will become loose. Sometimes you can whack them back in, but it's better to put in larger pins and then hammer them in. How can I tell where he put them? Obviously the shiny ones. So there's one pin that's been replaced, there's the other one, and there's that one. Kind of looks goofy now. Now I want to replace all of them, but it would cost so much money. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those pins. I just gave him the money and he walked out the door and left me with a broken string and 3 pins. And he's not gonna replace them. Like, he's not gonna replace the 2 strings I snapped. I have to pay for it. And he didn't bring any strings with him. So, I kind of understand how the string thing works. Each string is wrapped around an individual pin. The string used to be up here. It's gone. And another string needs to be here, so that's where you see that gap. So yeah, I got 2 pins here without any strings on them. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm now going to start from the very beginning all the way back down, and from the black keys all the way back down. Just like I did in the previous clip, which is the before clip, and this is the after clip. So, let's begin. So, you notice that these 2 keys don't sound the same anymore. So they're different now. And a long time ago, this used to sound bad. But this key here kind of sounds a little off. I don't know, I kind of hear a little sound in this one. If I play this one back, it kind of sounds a little off. So, anyway, I guess I get what I pay for. Make sure the camera is facing the keys. If it moves a little bit, no biggie, doesn't matter. So, we're going to start from the black keys all the way back down. And now, before, these two keys used to sound the same. And these two keys were probably the most out of tune. Now, listen carefully, and you'll notice that one of them is a little bit muffled and a little bit quiet. The reason why this one is muffled is because the one string is broken. If two of the same strings were broken for this key, and if there was only one string, it would sound terrible. But it can still play with only two more strings. And surprisingly enough, this key right here, which is below this key, is also muffled. So yeah, these two keys are the quietest because they're missing that one string, or those two strings that snapped. But no biggie, I can live with that. And to be quite honest, I don't want to blow any more money into this. I have my sister's birthday coming up soon. Her channel is called Paranormal Girl, and you should check out her videos that she has in her favorites. So, yeah. Since her birthday's coming up, I'm going to basically use some of the money I have to take care of that. I'm glad I didn't pay overboard with this whole piano tuning business. And even though two strings had snapped, it doesn't really make a difference. It just makes it a lot quieter. So, next I'm going to play Someone Said Goodbye. In my before video, I played that song, and the piano was out of tune then. Now that it's in tuned, let's hear how it sounds.